Okay, here we are in chapter 6.10, using properties of addition. These properties, you should remember, hopefully you remember, they keep coming back. We have the commutative property, and it includes, it's where things change their place, the order. So commutative property is like when you have 1/2 plus 3/5, and you decide to change it around so that it's 3/5 first and 1/2 second. When you change the order in addition, it doesn't change anything, and it works the same with fractions. 1/2 plus 3/5 is the same or equal to 3/5 plus 1/2. The other one is the associative property. And this is where you change the parentheses, but the order stays the same, like 2/9 plus 1/8, all in parentheses, plus 3/8. And this is the same thing as 2/9 plus 1/8 plus 3/8. Notice that it's 2/9, 1/8, 3/8, 2/9, 1/8, 3/8. So the order of the problem, the numbers are the same, but the parentheses changes so that we do the grouping, this grouping, before we add the 2/9 to it. Anyway, you get the same answer either way. And we're going to unlock the problem with the first one on page 281. It's got a nice little story problem there about Jane and her family, and they're going different distances, day 1 and day 2. And they're using the associative property, so we'll just go ahead and look straight at that one. We've got 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/6. So this is like the first day and then the second day, and they're adding it together, the first day and the second day. But they've noticed that it might be easier if you really wanted to add 1/3 and 1/3 together first before you added the 1/6. And that just makes sense. So you use the associative property to change the grouping symbols so that you get to add these two, this 1/3 plus 1/3. 1/3 plus 1/3 is 2/3 plus 1/6. And then you can change 2/3 into some number of sixths plus 1/6. And I guess that would be 4/6. So you'd get 5/6. And so it's not that much different. You get the same answer no matter how you do it, as long as you do it correctly, but no matter which order you do these things in. But it works out nicely for you sometimes to group the things that have a common denominator. And so that's basically what this whole video is going to be about. Okay, there's a second example too that uses the commutative property and the associative property. Let's check that one out. We're going to add 2 5/8 and then 1 2/3, and this one is grouped with parentheses, and then we're going to add 1 1/8 to that. And we might see that we have 8s here and 8s here. We might want to get them together. So we could use the commutative property to just change the order of these two. So we've got put this 1 2/3 first. And that's this one. And then we'll add 2 5/8. We're changing the order there. 2 5/8. So we're changing the order on these two. And then we're going to also regroup it. 1 1/8. Yeah, that's our last one. So we're going to group it so that we're grouping our 8s together. Put a little, make sure the addition sign is out here. Okay, so that's how that works. We're gonna do these two first, which means I'm going to leave 1 2/3 alone, and I'm going to look right inside here. 2 5/8 plus 1 1/8 is 3 6/8. Okay, and there's another neat thing I could do here. I could remember that 3 6/8 is really the same thing as 3 and, if I could divide this by 2 and divide that by 2, 3 and 3 3/4. Okay, simplify that down to 3 3/4 is kind of a good way to do that. Then we can find a common denominator of 12. So 1 and some number of 12ths plus 3 and some number of 12ths. And then we look here, 4 times 3 is 12. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. So 2 times 4 is 8. 1 and 8/12 plus 3 and 9/12. There we go. All right, so 8 plus 9 is 17. This gives us a little bit something strange. 1 plus 3 is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4, and then 8 plus 9 is 17/12. So that's an improper fraction. We've got to work on that. We'll change it to 4 plus 12/12 plus 5/12, because 12 plus 5 is 17. Okay, and then this becomes 1, and the 4 plus 1 is equal to 5, and 5/12. And that's our answer. Now this is a lot of math. And if you just keep your fraction, you know, the rules for fractions, finding common denominators, and then simplifying when you get done, then you'll be fine. We've been working on this for a couple weeks now, and we're almost done with the chapter. So hopefully you're becoming an expert at this. Okay. Well, I guess this will be the end of the video. I'm losing my screen.